Good day, everyone. For today's lesson, I'm going to be discussing with you the different kinds of qualitative research design. Okay, so type of research design. Okay, so we have several qualitative research types. Okay, so choosing carefully and appropriate qualitative research design should be aligned with the problem, inquiry, or research questions. So before we proceed to the formal discussion, so I have here an activity first. So this is what you call picture analysis. So since alam naman natin na pag sinabi natin qualitative research, this is more of uh, picture analysis, word and narrative. So what are your insights on the following pictures? So let me show you this first picture. Okay, so perhaps you are thinking of this picture tells us about poverty. You're correct. If you are thinking of poverty, yes, this pictures also tells us about poverty. Or maybe you are thinking of child support. Okay, lack of child support or child labor because at a very young age they are working already. Okay, so next picture. What about this one? So this is an actual picture taken in the DPP laboratory. Yes, maybe you're thinking about curiosity. Okay, so they're curious about baking. Okay, or maybe you are thinking about perseverance because these kids or these students are very willing to learn. Okay, so next picture. What about this one? Yes, you're also correct. So maybe you are thinking of perseverance also. Okay, and uh, of course, brighter future ahead or business in the making. Okay, the same with this picture. Okay, so perseverance, dedication, hard work. So this picture tells us many things. Okay, so I have here a graphic organizer. So if you can make your own graphic organizer, so you can research on the different qualitative research design and try to organize it in this qualitative research organizer. Okay, so research design, as I've told you, um, has many types. Okay, has many types, but we have five most common qualitative research design. Okay, so I'm gonna be presenting it to you one by one. So if you're going to check your module, so there are several research design uh, written there. Okay, so according to Braun and Clark of 2013, he suggested that the following questions are useful guide as you think of a suitable research design. What are these questions? So here are the questions. The guide questions according to Braun and Clark, 2013, number one. What do I want to know? Okay? So ano bang gusto kong malaman? So what do I want to know? Next question, guide question, as you think of a suitable research design is, why do I want to know it? Okay, why do I want to know it? Okay, what types of data, would best answer these questions? Okay, or what assumptions I am making about research? Okay, or what type of data will I use? Okay, what type of data will I use to tell me what I want to know? So the answer to this and to the previous question is not always the same. Okay, number six, how much data will I need? Okay, how much data will I need? How will I collect my data? If my research need participants, who will I need to collect data from? How will I access or recruit these participants? Another question, how will I analyze my data in order to answer these questions? And what particular ethical issues do I need to consider? Or you have also to think, are there any practical factors that I need to take into account? So these guide questions will be useful for you to think of a suitable research design or a research type, qualitative research type. Okay? So we have five most common qualitative research type or research design. So we have ethnography, grounded theory, narrative inquiry, phenomenology, and case study. But we have several. In your module, um, there are several types of qualitative research. So let's take this one by one. So first is ethnography or ethnographical research design. So what does ethnographical research mean? So this research design studies the beliefs. Okay, this studies the beliefs, social interactions, and behaviors of small societies or an entire group that shares a common culture involving participation and observation over a long period. And data interpretation. It is time consuming because it requires a widespread field work by the research in the current sceneries focusing on details of every lives. So ethnography. So this refers to the direct description of the group, culture, or community. So maybe you want to study this group of people in your barangay. Okay? So, say for example, a study on the group of COVID-19 senior citizen survivors, view of life after those trying times. So, yun, example. Ulitin ko, a study on the group of COVID-19 senior citizen survivors. Okay. So, ethnography yon. Okay. Um, I'll give you an example where you can relate it to your courses. Okay? So for ethnography example, this one. This is very suitable sa mga barbering students natin. So Smile and Style, an ethnographic study of hairdressers in Malibay, Pasay. So this for TVL. Okay? So ethnographic because we will be studying the group of hairdressers, specifically in Malibay. Okay? Next, we have grounded theory. Okay, grounded theory. This is an approach that generates a theory. It aims to develop a theory directly based and grounded in the data collected by the researcher. So in this case, we will be generating a theory based on the data collected. Okay, so grounded theory is a design where theory is formulated from unprocessed information, systematically collected and analyzed about a phenomenon. So it aims to generate a theory of a process, action, or interaction grounded in the views of participants in the study. So it specifies the historical and social conditions that influence the phenomenon, and it investigates the social process and interactions among the lives of people. Okay? So example, halimbawa, study about the students' perception of teachers' presence in an online class or in online classes. Okay, again, a study about the students' perception of teachers' presence in online class. So that's a grounded theory. Or maybe this one for BPP students. So you can, this is an example. Pandesal, a grounded theory of Filipino belief of pambansang tinapay. So you see, the crafting of the research title is very catchy. So it's not like the way quantitative research titles are being crafted. Okay? O pandesal, a grounded theory of Filipino belief o pambansang tinapay. Okay. So that is a grounded theory. Next is narrative inquiry. Okay, narrative inquiry is another kind of research or a narrative research. So it focuses on the people's narrative, either about themselves or a set of events, concentrating on the stories, a sequential unfolding. It is also time consuming in the sense that usually this includes a small number of cases and it's used when the study has a specific contextual focus such as halimbawa, classroom and students or life history. So an oral history of personal reflection from one or more individuals. So it focuses on stories told by the participants collected through observation, through diaries, through letters, through ano pa ba, interviews, artifacts, and photographs. So lahat to i-gather mo. Okay? So kaya ano to, medyo time consuming. Unlike sa quantitative research, meron ka lang survey questionnaires. So pwede nang ma-process yun. Okay. Or here, narrative research is an approach that includes stories that reflects on people's experiences and the meaning that this experience has for them. Okay, so example of this one is for Hume's Buhay Public School, an exploratory study of the first graduates of pilot senior high schools in Pasay City. So we'll be tracing or we'll be looking for this first senior high school graduate, and we will be asking their stories through narrative research. We will be telling their stories about their experiences during those times. Okay, so that is narrative inquiry. Then we have phenomenology. Okay, phenomenology, usually this is an approach that focuses on the subjective experience of the individual. Okay, the subjective experience of the individual, and it seeks to understand the essence or structure of a phenomenon. Okay, a phenomenon from the perspective of those who have experienced them. Okay, so usually, this talks about the lived experiences of the individual. So the design describes the lived experiences or the or about a phenomenon and attempts to understand how these participants make sense of their experiences. So that is phenomenology. Example, um, a study on the experiences of a single parent with an intellectually disabled child. O pwedeng ano yan, phenomenological yan. Study of the experiences of a single parent with an intellectually disabled child. So, that is phenomenology. Bakit naging phenomenology yon? Because the design will describe the lived experiences of this single parent. Okay? Ano yung phenomenon doon? What's the phenomenon there? It's their it's their lived experiences with their intellectually disabled child. Okay? So, that is phenomenology. Example, relating it into our case, so a phenomenology of successful senior high school entrepreneurs. Okay. So again, we'll be looking into the lived experiences of these senior high school entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs. Okay? So that's another example. And of course, we have the case study. Okay? So case study is actually a bounded system, a single entity, a unit around there a boundary. So ang case study usually studies a person, a program, or event in a defined time frame. Okay, meron siyang time. According to Creswell, 1990, it says that the structure of a case study should be the problem, the context, the issues, and the lessons learned. So, pwede ditong isang tao lang, isang grupo, okay? Or an event, okay? So, dito kailangan dito ng the data collections here are direct, okay? Direct or may participants observation, okay? Interviews. Kailangan din dito yung mga archival records or documents, mga physical artifacts, and auto-visual materials kung meron. Okay? So, kahit na konti lang kailangan ditong participants o kahit isa lang, still, this will require time in investigating or studying that individual or a group of person. Okay? So, this kind of research gain or this uses deeper insight on a phenomenon. Okay? So, example of mga case studies, halimbawa, drug rehabilitated teenagers. Okay? Transgenders. Okay? Gays. Or gay marriages. Okay? And others. Okay? Example, i-relate natin sa atin. How about this one? This is a case study, influence of the cross-dressers among queer senior high school students. A case study. Because that's one of the many problems now because, maybe this is a taboo or hindi pinag-uusapan pero usually kapag may mga programs tayo sa school, nagiging isa to sa mga nagiging isa to sa mga issue, not problem naman, issue about these cross-dressers kasi say for example, a certain gay person wants to dress up, okay, wants to cross-dress, okay, in some occasions like proms and others. So maybe we could study the influence of these cross-dressers among the queer senior high school students. Uh, those who are still doubting about their gender preferences or meron pang identity crisis. So what's the influence of these cross-dressers to them? So this is a case study also. Okay? So now, those are the five most common qualitative research design. Ang dami pa nating mga research designs na pwedeng gamit gaya ng action research. Okay, usually ang action research ginagamit ito ng mga teachers. Okay, so we have case study na sabi na natin. We got historical research. Okay, we can also use content analysis, qualitative content analysis, or critical qualitative research, postmodern research, or basic interpretative qualitative study, and a lot more. So, but these five are the most common qualitative research designs which you can choose from. So, tatandaan nyo lang yung mga questions na binigay ko sa inyo. What then and what's the best research design? It is in your choice. Wala naman sinasabi na best research design. Okay? As long as uh, you have explored, you have answered some of the questions in your mind. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you learned something today. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe for the upcoming videos. So see you again. Bye.